Mistakes. We all make them. They're a part of our lives. But how would you feel if your one mistake changed everything? How would you feel if your one mistake changed your life, turned it upside down, and you were repeatedly punished for it? Well, every year, there are hundreds of thousands of people in America who are continuously punished for one simple mistake: the possession of marijuana. As a fellow at the Drug Policy Alliance, the premier drug policy advocacy institution in the country, I was exposed to individuals who were punished with long, harsh sentences for the possession of marijuana. And their punishment was not stopped after their incarceration. They were repeatedly punished through collateral consequences that impacted their ability to find housing, secure employment, or obtain an education. A marijuana possession record can completely change an individual's life and hinder the ability of that individual to find stability. Today, I want to speak about these harsh drug policies in order to show that they're ineffective, counterproductive, target poor, Black and Latino communities, and are very costly. The war on drugs is a perfect example of the government targeting poor communities, primarily Black and Latino communities, in order to satisfy public outcry on a social problem. Started by President Nixon in 1969, the war on drugs was seen as a solution for the increase in crime and the economic problems that plagued the country. In reality, the war on drugs was a mechanism to destabilize the Vietnam War protesters and the Black voters who were fighting for racial justice and equality. Nixon connected these individuals with the use of marijuana and created tantalizing images showing the users depicted as monsters and social problems that needed to be dealt with harshly. The tactic to hinder the effects of communities fighting for social and racial justice led politicians to label marijuana as a Schedule I drug, leading law enforcement agencies throughout the country to target these individuals and arrest anyone with marijuana. This led to US's decade-long emphasis on criminalization. The impact of these policies are appalling. Today, every 25 seconds, an individual is arrested for drug possession. On any given day, there are 125,000 behind bars for their drug use. The government spends over $50 billion annually behind drug enforcement. Poor communities of color are targeted and destabilized, as nearly 80% of individuals in federal prisons and 60% of individuals in state prisons are Black and Latino, despite the fact that these individuals have the same rate of use and sell as white individuals. Currently, there are 2.7 million children, or 1 in 25 children, who have an incarcerated parent. Understanding the failures of the war on drugs and the negative impact of incarcerating individuals for marijuana, it is imperative that we create policy that is centered around support and rehabilitation rather than incarceration and punishment. Colorado and Washington took the first steps in reversing the harms done by the war on drugs when they legalized recreational marijuana in 2012. This step was drastic. The outcome, within the first year of legalization, both states saw over $40 million generated in tax revenue. There was an 84% decrease in marijuana arrests. There was an 8.9% decrease in property crimes. There was $8 million that was generated for public education funds. Both Colorado and Washington have set a platform for policymakers to see that prohibition is not the answer. Legalization and regulation are. The financial and social benefits that both of these states have attained show that the war on drugs has been costly and counterproductive. The support for legalization is at an all-time high, with 61% of Americans supporting recreational use of marijuana. And with this, I urge policymakers to understand that the time is now to change the policies that have harmed so many people, broken so many communities. We need to do a better job of reversing the harms done by past policies and create a better future for the community, for everyone. Thank you.